hope for the future, dealing with what's happening right now. There was another young man on Fort Hood. I don't know if you heard of the soldier before that, Vanessa. She was at Fort Hood, and then there was another guy that they just found dead too on Fort Hood. That was a station I was stationed at for my first time. And this is like, I think once the whole situation with Vanessa, when she was missing and they said that she was sexually harassed, sexually abused, and they found her, and there was a husband and wife that killed her because she didn't want to give the husband a time of day, and the husband ended up killing himself. Now the wife is doing the time. And then there's another soldier that was found hung. He was moved just like me. It seemed like it was crazy because she was young that it happened to. And then when it happened to the young man recently, he was moved to another unit after it happened. And I'm just like, is that a thing? Like, when something happens to a soldier, why is it that we have to move, or why you have to like move us out of a situation real quick? What happens to the person that is doing this? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the military, seriously, after this year, I mean, I know stuff happened into the military. Once I came out and told my story, a lot of my peers that I looked up to that was in the military longer than me said it happened to them, but they just didn't talk about it because they just didn't trust anybody. And I want to stop for a minute because when I came to Hawaii, they called me. The people that interrogated me, they called me and apologized. I will never forget it. I was upstairs in my room when I was in Hawaii. They called me and I sat on the bed, and they told me that I was the fourth woman that has happened to. I was the fourth. They knew about this before he did this to me, and to the other female, and to the other female, and to the other female. You see what I'm saying? So I just could not accept their apology because you got a whole, it went up. It was like up the chain of command knew that he did this. And I was like, wow. I get, you know what I'm saying? It was just so, it was disrespectful because I was in a room on the floor like an animal, you interrogating me, and when we leave and I'm trying to get some kind of closure, and it was like, we might want you to come back and testify. No, I'm not coming back to Korea. I'm not coming back. And I fought. We had the court case over the phone. They didn't really do much. All they did is took his pay for a whole year. That's it. I don't know if he's still in, and I don't want to know if he's still in because my family is safe. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when is enough enough? How many more soldiers that are lower enlisted have to not just, we are looking at these people as leaders, right? How can you be a leader to me when you violate my space, violating my voice, violating my body? So as a leader, you feel like you can do anything. And then when you go into the military, I've learned that a lot of people that come into the military, especially as a person as myself, not having my parents in my life, people come from broken homes, homeless, stuff like that into the military. And I just feel like that's a way for people to kind of like, play with your mind and play with trying to learn how to gain control over you because you don't have that support. You see what I'm saying? So I really hope that I don't know. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. They say they're trying to fire the person that's in charge of Fort Hood, but they need more than just Fort Hood. This is every duty station. People need to go back, and because of what happened to Vanessa, they opened up a law for soldiers to go outside the military and get help outside, which is good. Wow. Because just like me and my husband had a conversation, the military can't help the military. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You can't help the military because you got some messed up individual with sick minds in there that we looking at here and saying they're standing up beside you every day, and you can't trust your left or your right. We're supposed to be fighting a war. How can you fight a war with somebody that you're fighting with yourself? So it's just like you can't fight an enemy with an enemy. It's not going to work. And I feel as though the military has to do a lot better. It shouldn't take 2 lives to be taken because they want to report. You know what I'm saying? Now you hear about this stuff. Now people are actually killing because nobody wants to sacrifice their jobs. Nobody wants to lose promotion and stuff like that. But this is way bigger than the military, and they're allowing this because they don't want to lose numbers. They don't want to lose a certain rank, because when you let somebody go, you got to find somebody to replace. They don't want to do the paperwork, but you have to do the work. In order for your soldiers to get better and to feel like they're in an environment, a safe environment, you have to do the work. You have to do the work to make sure they feel safe. If not, then this ain't the military. This is you're basically in a place that you don't know what's going to happen. And I felt like when I left the military, I decided to leave. They wanted me to stay in because of what I did for other soldiers. They was like, you're so good. You never had a write-up. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But when it came down to it, when this person violated me, y'all dig deep and was trying to I felt like you were stabbing me and versus helping me because you didn't want to let this person go. And now that you see that he did it to other people, now there's apology. Now you can't apologize for that. Fix it. When you fix it, then it's better. But they got years and years of digging up. And I really hope that, that nobody else's life is going to be taken, because it was in a month span of 2 people. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? You know what I'm saying? So the military definitely have a lot to do. My husband's a NCO. You know what I'm saying? He's a leader, and I know that he takes care of his soldiers and he make sure they're good. That's a true leader. When you look at a leader and you are married and you see what they do for their soldiers, that's a true leader. Versus you don't know if I didn't know what he was doing or anything, then you have to question yourself as an individual, because you can't allow yourself to be in the presence of somebody hurting other people. You know what I'm saying? So I hope in the future, a few years from now, that the military get a lot better, because I didn't realize, when you're in the military and they have these sexual assault meetings and seminars and stuff, and you're sitting in the class and you're like, what? But I actually was in the facility. I didn't even know there was a facility, Miss Joyce, until it happened to me, that they had people in that was medicated and stuff that was going through the same stuff as me in Utah. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. This is really a place. This is really happening. Versus when it doesn't happen to you, you don't understand it. But when you actually see, I actually seen hell in the military. That was hell. There shouldn't have been no facility for no soldiers dealing with that situation. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, wow, we really have facilities for people like this. nobody ever says, nobody ever speaks about it, nobody ever says nothing about it, but you'll know if it happens to you. And I really, my thing is like the outside help, I appreciate them. And I love them for being open and honest with me about what happened to me, because they gave me a true understanding. The military is not going to give you that. So I felt like, you know, being in Hawaii has helped me so much, and it helped me gain my purpose and my healing. And I will forever be grateful for Hawaii, because that's where my healing started. If it wasn't for them sending me there, I wouldn't have known that part of the military. And it helped me understand a deeper part of myself and what other people are going through. You know, I just heard so many. Ms. Joyce, if I even told you some of the stories that I heard, you would just be like, what is going on? I heard it was just too much. It's stuff that, you know, people shouldn't have experienced, you know? And so I really hope that, you know, people like my husband, a few NCOs that I know that are leaders, true leaders, that they take the initiative and to speak up and to help other soldiers, you know, because you got to make it a safe place. And that's all I hope for. I mean, if it don't fix, they need to I feel like they need to shut it down. I mean, I know the world wouldn't operate without an army, but you know, you can't sacrifice people's minds and bodies in the hands of Uncle Sam and your brothers and sisters at that too. I signed a contract with y'all. It didn't mean to be signed to be violated, you know? So hopefully that gets better. That's all I hope. Because I never thought I'll be sitting right here seeing on the news that 2 people actually got killed because they wanted to speak up about this. You know, people are losing their lives. And now it's just like, we going from violated to now murdering people that wants to say their voices. And at the end of the day, I think to myself, like, that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? That could have been me. So that even for people that are advocates and are really big about helping other people, now is the time to raise your voice up even harder, because we see it. We see it every day. You know, I think about all the women I was in the facility with. Like, what if that was us? What if our parents was our family was on the news looking for us? You know, so it's just, it needs to get better. It needs to get better. And I hope that, you know, true leadership starts taking, you know, speaking up for the military. That's all. Once you have more leaders speaking up, you start to see progress, you know?
That's very true.